welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, one of the bizarre and troubling things that I have seen arising in the wake of the Brexit vote is this propensity for fascism, and it's been really surprising to see where it's been coming from as well. Often people who are on the progressive left are advocating for what is effectively a fascist, anti-democratic response to this democratic vote, simply because they don't like the outcome. They don't like the fact that 52%, the majority, have said they want this particular outcome, and so they're now making suggestions like we should have another vote until we get the outcome that we want. Or we should actually find a way to override this, or some politicians should completely ignore the will of the people. This is really, really troubling stuff. As I said, it's troubling because this is fascism. And what people supporting these kind of proposals don't realise is that they are setting up a system that is almost certainly going to be used against them at some future point as well. So let's say that in the future some vote was held where the ruling party decided that what they wanted was to take you and all of your family and evict you from your land, take your land off you, level the land and build apartment complexes, and that you were going to lose your job, you were going to be shipped off to other parts of the country to earn your living there instead. And then so they put it to a public referendum, and 52% of the people said, no, you can't do that, we don't want that. But then the 48% said, well, no, you don't understand, this is going to be really good. If we kick all these people off their property and build apartments, there's going to be good financial outcomes, there's going to be good things come of this. So we're going to have another vote until we get the desired outcome, or we're going to get a politician to ignore you and override what you want. You see, there's no way, I'm sure, that people in that situation, any of us, would support that. Because we say, hold on, the will of the people is what democracy is supposed to be about. That's a check and balance that's hugely important, that actually gives us, even though it's not perfect and it's only really a modicum of control, but it is there. And it exists for good reason. Now, I initially thought that the sort of fascist tendency of the progressive left, which we see a lot more of today, which is the tendency to try and kick people out of jobs or to exclude them from the public square or to insult and call them names rather than engage in rational dialogue with them just because they hold views that you disagree with. I thought that those fascist tendencies were just sort of confined to, I guess, to the arena of public debate. But it seems now that it's not just public debate, that there are people on the progressive left who actually want these fascist tendencies to be expressed in the political system as well. And that's really, really troubling. I would always assume that the Che Guevara t-shirts and hats were just a misguided attempt at fashion. But I'm sort of starting to wonder whether these Che Guevara hats and t-shirts aren't actually more like a uniform for some people, because they don't actually understand how democracy is supposed to work. And that, I think, is a really, really troubling thing to see happening. I think it's also kind of bizarre because a lot of the people who are now calling for the democratic process to be overridden are some of the biggest proponents of the voice of the people when it comes to other issues. So you've got to decide, what is the principle I actually stand for? If the principle I stand for is democracy, that means you have to accept the bad outcomes along with the good outcomes in order to preserve that fundamentally important principle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.